Please hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
It's going to be an awesome couple of hours here for your Freak Nation. We have we don't have a NASCAR race to cover. However, we're going to have your NASCAR Xfinity Series champion, Custer. He'll be joining us here in the next couple of hours. And with the NHRA wrapping up this afternoon, I got to be honest with you about this one, man. We hope to have maybe a couple of your champions in here.
They are still celebrating. They're still doing media stuff in the media center. We had to start a show.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Matt Hagan, maybe, funny car champion, Top Fuel champion, Doug Coletta after about...
Wait. Can you say that again?
Doug Coletta, after almost 3 decades, finally gets himself a Top Fuel championship. We're chasing him. And Erica Enders, 6-time NHRA Pro Stock champion. Be sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the website, speedfreaks.tv, and the Freak Radio Network, 90-plus stations, part of what we've been doing for 23 years. And, of course, right here on MAV TV. Colton Haaker, you may not be familiar with this guy, but if you follow Two Wheels, you probably are. This guy's got 5 Endurocross championships. He won last night in Oregon. You saw it on MAV TV. He'll be joining us in the second hour, 10 past the hour for the second hour. Colton Haaker will be here in the Freak Nation. Also, Formula One, Statman's Scat gets after it a little bit, where Formula One really had no idea that it gets cold in the desert in November.
Yeah, they
in November
are not weather people.
Let's back up a minute to the Doug Coletta. I think it was an interesting story that his crew chief this year, Alan Johnson, was the guy who snatched the championship out of his cold, dead hands.
Mm-hmm.
When was it? I don't know, 10, 15 years ago at Pomona in the same World Championship finals where Alan Johnson was with
Tony Schumacher.
Give me the name.
Tony Schumacher.
Tony Schumacher. Yeah, Schumacher had to win the event, set a time record, do all of these things, which he did, and beat Coletta for the championship by just a couple of points. So Alan Johnson's with Coletta now, and now Coletta's the champion.
Yeah, it's truly unbelievable what Doug Coletta has gone through. He's been the bridesmaid to the champion 6 times. Yep. 6 times he's been second place in the Top Fuel Championship. Finally, after 26, 27 years in the NHRA, he finally can call himself a champion. And he's basically, it's either 29 or 30 years removed from his USAC National Sprint Car Championship. So kind of like somebody said.
The great line when they had a dirt race, a so-called celebrity race in Missouri a few years ago, and I was in it, and we started talking while we were walking across some pit somewhere, and then suddenly he stops me and says, "You've done this before, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah, Doug is no stranger to circle track or straight line racing.
Sprint cars, midgets, he's done it all, and now he's a champion in Top Fuel.
In both, yeah.
I'd be curious, Freak Nation. No one comes to mind as I think about this, and I've been thinking about it for 30 seconds. Typically, during one show throughout the year, we'll ask, who's the one driver that you want to finally see win a championship? And then you can also ask the question, who deserves a championship? And if you look at all the pro ranks of motorsports, I'm not talking about some of the backwoods tracks, Freak Nation. I'm talking about of all the big boy pro motorsports series.
The top national series.
There's not one that deserved a champion more than Doug Coletta. Not one. I don't care if you go to NASCAR, you go to IndyCar. No one's won as much as this dude. has sniffed the championship 6 freaking times as the bridesmaid, and then finally freaking gets it. Doug Coletta, and he doesn't have a bad bone in his body.
Right.
There's you can't even spell a hole. If you spot in the hole, A in the hole minus the E. He just, I don't even know what that means, but
I don't either. He's just about as nice as they come, is what you're saying.
It is.
But the only people who didn't want him to win were the people he was racing against.
Yeah.
Liam Pruitt and Tony Schumacher and Matt Hagan. They were all the teams on the Tony Stewart Racing. And but everybody else on the grounds practically wanted Doug Coletta to win that championship.
Yes.
And it was a very popular race.
Just after he won, Richie put it up on Twitter, just a static post congratulating Doug Coletta, and the likes went bonkers. Just the likes for a static post saying, "Congratulations, Dougie. You won the championship for 2023. You've been chasing it for about 30 freaking years." And Richie, you look at how many likes that one post got just from a static photo of Doug Coletta.
It was by far the most popular post of the entire week.
Going back to last weekend's NASCAR championship?
Not Monday to Sunday. The NASCAR obviously led the way. But yes, it was one of the more popular posts in a while. That's non-NASCAR championship related. So congratulations, Doug. It was awesome.
Yes, very much.
I had no idea how much I wanted him to win until he won. And I jumped out of my seat cheering for him, you know. I had a hard time because, you know, you like Tony and you want Leah to win, and you like Doug and you want Doug to win. But when Doug pulled it off, it was like, yeah, I came out of the seat and was really cheering for him.
Okay. In which event did you come out of your seat more and get more excited about? Buddy Rice winning the 2004 Indy 500 or Doug Coletta winning this championship?
No comparison.
No comparison.
I haven't put the mic down and just talked to Doug like I have with Buddy Rice. I don't have Doug's home phone number, and Doug's wife didn't massage my head like Buddy Rice's wife did. So I got some personal involvement with Buddy Rice that I don't have with Doug.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, needless to say, Freak Nation, I think you can tell we're pretty stoked to have Doug Coletta as your 2023 NHRA Top Fuel champion. And here's another one for you. With the research that we've been doing for the last hour and a half, is J.R. Todd the last championship for Connie Coletta?
Which was several years ago. Ooh.
Would that be the last?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
For Connie Coletta?
Wow.
Yeah.
They were showing Connie Coletta on the coverage on FS1, and it was just an endless number of folks coming up and hugging Connie sitting there in the golf cart, and the appreciation of what he's meant for what would you say, Statman? Oh my gosh, think about this. 7 or 8 decades of Connie Coletta involved in drag racing.
Goes back to the early 60s at least. And, you know, that was back in a time when there was Conrad, people called him, Connie Coletta, Big Daddy Don Carlitz. You know, these were the names that Shirley Muldowney, these were the names that were important at that time. These were the names that coalesced the drag racing in everybody's mind, the names that leaped out of the drag strip into the general consciousness. And he's been putting cars out on the track for a long time. And he finally got Doug, who is his nephew, right?
Yep.
And got him a championship. He's got to be just as happy because he, like you said, you don't have to say the best driver who's never won a championship anymore.
Yeah, I need to pull up that tweet that I found. Okay, here we go. By Kevin McKenna. It took John Elway 14 years to win a Super Bowl. It took Ray Baroque 22 years to win a Stanley Cup. Doug Coletta just won the NHRA Top Fuel title in his 26th season. Some things are just worth the wait.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's no longer a Dan Marino.
Bridesmaid, no more. And again, he's into a 7th. Connie Coletta into a 7th. He got the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 10. Yeah, he's into a seventh decade of the NHRA. Wow. That is crazy, man.
And this guy, the great stories about Connie are almost as bad as the stories about Doug. The great one is that somebody tried to skyjack one of his airplanes when he was flying. He's got a Coletta Air, and he grabbed the guy and beat him up in the plane. Conrad, yeah, that's what an incredible. The whole thing is an incredible story.
Yep. So we're chasing him down, and again, as Crasher mentioned, it's at Pacific time. It is 7:10, and they're going to be partying for a while. I don't know if and when we do get these drivers here in the Freak Nation, how sober they're going to be. Which kind of
who cares?
I don't give a damn, man.
No.
Hey, we had Ben Rhodes on last week. Can't beat him. Tough to beat him at least. You know, dinosaurs aren't real.
Dinosaurs aren't real.
Well, that's a fact, Freak Nation. All right, coming up in the show, Freak Nation, as I mentioned, Colton Haaker, 5-time Endurocross champion. He'll be joining us here in the show, which, of course, you can watch on Mad TV. I'm talking about Endurocross on top of Speed Freaks, but Endurocross, you saw it last night in Oregon. Colton Haaker, your winner. He'll be joining us coming up in the show. We're chasing Erica Enders. We're chasing Doug Coletta. Cole Custer will be here in the Freak Nation. And Formula One, we mentioned this at the top of the show, Formula One needs a new weather person. It's just,
somebody who knows science, weather science.
It gets even better for Formula One. More freaks coming up.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
One of the main reasons for poor vehicle performance is a dirty fuel system. It can cause decreased fuel economy and actually do harm to your engine over time. By adding Lucas Fuel Treatment to your vehicle, it cleans and lubricates the entire fuel system. Pump, carburetors, fuel injectors, and valves as you drive. It also improves your vehicle's performance. It's a non-solvent product designed to protect both gasoline and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. It works.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers. The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up for one amazing party. Go to WWTRaceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers' rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Some of you objected a couple of weeks ago when I called Formula One a clown show. Now the web is filling with stories that F1 leadership had no idea that it gets cold when the Las Vegas sun goes down in November. One website said that leadership was concerned that drivers were going to be affected by the heat like they were in Qatar about a month ago. That won't be a problem next week in Las Vegas. For example, last night, I checked the temperature at about the same time that the race was supposed to start next Saturday, and it was 41 degrees. I've been at rallies in the southwestern desert when temperatures would fall 40 degrees after sundown, and people from the East Coast were turning blue. The record November low in Las Vegas is 21 degrees, but that was back in 1958, before climate change. And there are reports no one checked on this when they considered the race a couple of years ago. A tweet this week reported 10,000 empty seats that weren't sold for next weekend. I guess you want to spend $1,000 to sit on a cold metal bench in freezing temperatures. But don't worry, it's a dry cold, a clown show. Peace.
Your Statman Scat brought to you by good friends at Lucas Oil. Go to lucasoil.com and you'll find a line of products to keep inside your engine, outside your engine, snappy and happy. Inside your car, they got it, man. The exterior of your car, bam! lucasoil.com. Plenty of products to keep your rides, 2- and 4-wheel, happy. Playing off Statman's Scat, so much news coming out of Las Vegas coming out of what is that noise? Richie, is that you typing?
I'm typing.
Damn it.
Gotta let the people in on the scats. The people on the internet can see it.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear it.
I have my
Kenny,
headset
you've got
up
your
so high.
super sensitivo ears.
It sounds like a freaking bull running across a...
used to be Crash couldn't hear. Now you can't hear either, huh?
Yeah. All right. Well, I turn this damn thing down. Maybe I can. All right. Getting back on course here, Freak Nation. So a lot of news coming out regarding Formula One in Las Vegas, and not all of it's good. And I had and I'm playing off Statman's Scat. I had someone, an acquaintance of mine, Kenny, you just want F1 in Las Vegas to blow up so you can laugh in its face. And I said, frankly, I don't. What I want to happen in Las Vegas is this. I want Formula One to get a grip and realize what the reality is for Formula One here in the United States of America. I'm not your demo. I'm too damn old, but I got an opinion, and my opinion is probably that of a lot of people 20 years younger than me, and that is it needs to be freaking competitive, and it needs to be in my price range to where I'd love to go see a freaking race that's damn near in my backyard. When you say races in your backyard, races that are within the borders of your country. We've got 3 races here, and I couldn't afford it to go see. If I'm of middle income, there's no way I could sniff a ticket to Las Vegas. So there's so many issues I've got with Formula One. I don't want it to fall on its face and be a classical failure. I don't want that to happen. I want Formula One here. I think it's bitching to have that series here.
You were there at the Formula One races in Indianapolis. So yes, you've seen it up close. You appreciate it. That has nothing to do with why you don't feel like Vegas is going to be a success. Yeah, I'm just backing you up on that.
Thank you. And the technological love that we have for this series, that's over for me. Listen, we've got AI. I can get a freaking paper written about Formula One in Cantonese with a Southern accent while I'm riding in a car upside down in a clown suit.
Wow.
That was much more difficult to think about 15 years ago when I saw my first Formula One race. I don't give a damn about the technological advances of Formula One right now anymore, man. Listen, settle down. I'm going to start digging all kinds of holes here. But my point is put Statman on camera.
But you're exactly right. That's what some people say.
Southern Canton.
Cantonese, man. Have you ever heard of Southern Cantonese, Statman?
People in the below the Mason-Dixon line in Canton. Oh, wow.
I want them to learn a lesson. Like humility in Formula One, those are just on different continents. It's not going to happen. But to have them have some issues with this race to where they rethink it next time. If there's going to be a next time. Look at what happened with the Miami Formula, the second time in Miami.
Lots of empty seats.
Ratings, empty seats.
Right, ratings were down.
So I don't want it to fail. I just want some lessons learned here. And in playing off Statman Scat, how a series that's worth so damn much, they didn't know it gets down into the 40s in the desert.
At night.
And Statman, what that does to a technologically advanced Formula One car, from tires to that wood paneling to the engine to the driver's capabilities to keep that car on the track is bonkers.
Yeah, it's pretty sophisticated. They were talking, one story I read, there's so many straight lines that they don't have a chance to heat up the tires when they turn through the, slow turns. So the tires aren't going to be warm and heated up enough. It's not going to have enough adhesion, and it could possibly be a pretty bad situation especially for some of the back markers who don't have the skill set that the guys at the front of the line running a different race than they are. It's not going to be, and you would think that a company that's worth $21 billion could find a computer to a Google machine to find out what's the temperature going to be in Las Vegas November 18th, and after dark. That's not a hard thing to do. It takes all of 4 or 5 seconds, and $21 billion. That's the arrogance in F1.
That's exactly where I was going. Yep.
When we come to town, everything spins to our clock, and Las Vegas is saying, dude, you're in the way here. We're making money. We ain't got the time for Formula One and guys in crazy hats and caps. I could go on for the rest of it.
It's their ego that they truly thought they're scheduling a desert race, had no thought to check on what certain conditions might be. It's the desert. It's guaranteed to be hot. Oh, therefore we need to schedule it at night in order to prevent some of those heat conditions. And then even just a couple of weeks ago, some of the executives worrying about that heat. It's like, back up and freaking do your research. You're right, Statman. That's 100% arrogance. If you build it, they will come, our kind of mentality.
Well, they're also, of course, with that, it's a 10 p.m. start time, local time for Las Vegas, which is Pacific. They're playing to Europe and those other countries. I get that.
But, do they play to the United States when they race in Europe? No. Do they play to anybody else when they race in the South Pacific? No. You play to your local audience. I mean, at least that's what you should do. You want this American audience so badly, but yet anytime you try to make an effort with them, Austin aside, Austin is the affordable race of the three, you blow things up in the American fans' faces, charging $200 for a hat, charging over $1,000 for a crappy seat, and then raising all the prices of the hotels and the restaurants and the cabs, and you're not making it easy for American fans to really, truly like this sport.
Well, it's going to be a little easier now that they've got a lot of available tickets and available hotel rooms and available places where people, they plan to have a lot of people there spending money, and evidently there's not going to be as many as they thought because they overpriced the market.
Yeah.
And if you believe what I said regarding placating to the European audiences, then why not start the COTA race at 12 o'clock midnight Central Time, or the Mexico Grand Prix? Why not start that late?
Yeah, but then in COTA, if they start the race in Las Vegas at 10 o'clock, it's got a 2-hour time limit. So by the time they get finished, hey, we had a good time. We've been drinking for 2 hours. Let's go gamble. In COTA, you don't go gambling at midnight in Austin, Texas. If the bar is open, you go to the bar and then go home or to your hotel room. But in Las Vegas, you're liable to be up till Tuesday gambling.
What? Well, then start the damn race at 6 p.m. so you have plenty of time to gamble. Man, I'm old. I can't stay up that damn. You think I'm going to stay up at 11 o'clock? I'm on mountain time right now after I spent 2 or 3 games of 9-year-old soccer on the Saturday afternoon? No, I've got a damn tournament that I'm going to be with a bunch of 9-year-olds. I'm going to be beat.
So I'm going to be the only one of the four of us that's actually going to sit down and watch this race. Ain't I?
I'll watch it.
I'll watch it.
Fall asleep. Yeah.
I'll fall asleep too. Exactly.
Yeah, I got to get up at 7 o'clock and go take a 9-year-old to another damn game Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And we got to go on the air because Grass was talking Formula One.
Oh, you're still mad at me for saying that we should have a live show next Sunday night.
Cole Custer, a champion, Nick.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers. For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now. For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up for one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Call 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. That's 800-631-9123.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, Cole Custer wrapped himself up a championship in the Xfinity Series last Saturday night running for Stewart-Haas Racing. And he joins us now, SpeedFreaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studio. Cole, we asked this of drivers many times when they win championships a day, 2, 3 days later, if it's really sunk in that you are the best driver in one particular series. Does it feel like Cole Custer is the best driver in the Xfinity Series right now?
Oh man, that's a tough one right there. I don't know if that's set in yet, and I don't know if I'll ever have. I don't know if I'll ever have that to call myself the best driver out there. But there's a lot of great guys out there. But it's definitely a crazy day, and a lot that built into that day of winning that championship with our whole team.
Hold on, Kenny. I'm cutting you off for a reason.
It's okay.
Why don't you think you have that in yourself? Maybe just not yet to call yourself the best, because guess what? You earned it, and you should be able to puff your chest out just a little bit. You're the freaking champion.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things in racing, I mean, you've raced against so many great people along the way, and some people that, in go-karts and quarter midgets that don't get the opportunity to go race in Cup, or Xfinity. So it's just, racing is a crazy sport, but to be able to take advantage of your opportunities and win a championship definitely means a ton.
Now, I will say this. We are friends with Smoke. Sometimes months are better than others. If he was sitting next to you, Cole, I think Smoke would be shaking you going, bro, you're the best in the Xfinity Series. Wouldn't Smoke be chanting a different theme here?
He was pretty pumped up after the race, so maybe he would. I'm not going to speak for him. I know that, but he was definitely pretty pumped up, and it was cool to see. I mean, he was definitely a huge part of this whole deal, him and Gene Haas. So it's just really cool for the whole company to bring that championship home.
Crasher, I'm going to let you jump in here in just a second, but I want to play that sound bite that we played Sunday night here in the Freak Nation of Smoke, Cole, where the camera caught Smoke there in the pit tower, motionless. And they were curious why he was motionless after your race when you're doing donuts and smoking this and that at Victory Lane. But Smoke is motionless as you're burning it down. And here's what he had to say about that.
The reason I wasn't moving, I was watching the replay trying to figure out how did he pull that off. And that's literally what I was doing at the pit box. I'm like, I have to understand. When you're a competitor, you've got to understand every aspect of it. And watching it live as it was happening, it was like, what just happened? And comes off of turn 4 and you see him get the lead back and you're like, well, that turned out great, but how did it happen?
That's coming from Smoke, who's had his share of finishes and championships, Cole. That's an endorsement of your move on that last lap to clinch that championship.
Yeah, I mean, to have those kinds of words from a champion like Tony is pretty incredible. Somebody I've watched on TV, every single Sunday when I was 5 years old. It's just to have somebody like that talk so highly and to be able to get advice from somebody like that too. He's been there and done that in everything. So to have a guy like that in your corner that you can ask questions to is definitely huge.
Okay, let's back up a little bit. Years before this championship, how did you guys come together? And what has been some of his advice that he's given you over the years that has now paid off?
Well, I think the biggest thing for him is just he's always huge on you got to have patience. You got to work with your team good. And, he's just everything that goes into it. I think if you ask him, what to expect going into a certain track or, how do I need to take care of my tires or, whatever it is, he's been there and done it, and even things off the track, you can ask him questions, so he's just an awesome resource for everybody here at SHR.
When you say patience, that ties into something that I've been wanting to ask you ever since Sunday night and the weekend wrapped up, NASCAR's championship weekend in Phoenix. I've seen some people, and of course, social media can go in so many different directions. I've seen some people get a little upset that, it's an embarrassment to NASCAR. Ryan Blaney has 3 wins on the season and he wins the championship. And I'm thinking, why is that an embarrassment? And then I thought, wait a minute. It's the same with Cole Custer. A couple of wins, but you do have the title. It's the way the series is structured. Here's my opinion on it. Such a long season. Yes, wins matter, but overall, it's that patience and consistency at the top that arguably matters most. What are your thoughts on that? And what do you tell fans with that perspective?
Well, I think it's like any sport, I think when you look at, the Patriots that year, they went undefeated and, they didn't win they didn't win the Super Bowl, so it's playoffs. It's playoffs in professional sports. It's who steps up to the challenge with the tracks that are at hand. And I think our team just did a great job of stepping up when the playoffs started and really taking advantage of those racetracks and bringing everything we had.
Excellent answer. Yes. Whether it's consistency throughout a long season or when it's playoffs, you just got to change things just a little bit to become even better at that point of the year. Thank you for that.
Cole Custer, the 2023 Xfinity champion. It was great to see you. I remember when you were not much older than 5 watching Tony Stewart. You were at Irwindale Raceway racing. And what'd you learn at Irwindale that helped you make that last move to win the championship in Phoenix?
I mean, everything. I mean, that's exactly where I got my start and, where I learned so much just about stock car racing, working with Tim Huddleston and everybody there at High Point Racing. We're definitely one of the coolest years I'll ever remember, So I remember going there about every other Thursday and just going and doing practice laps, just going out there and trying to figure out how to get a feel for a stock car when I was 14 or 15 years old, and just trying to understand it all. And without those laps at Irwindale and, figuring out, that Irwindale is a really unique short track just because it has so many different lanes. So to be able to learn that at a young age definitely means a lot also.
So let me ask you, maybe the largest headline in the off season away from the racetrack is racing in Southern California. They've shut down Fontana, and they seem to not want to go to Irwindale to build that up. You're from Southern California. What do you think about the possibility of Southern California disappearing from the schedule, or at least they say they're going to Coliseum, but that's not a real race.
Hey, yes, it is.
But what do you feel about Southern California being dropped off the schedule maybe for 2-3 years?
Well, there's been a lot of great race car drivers come out of Southern California, or California in general also. So I'm not too worried that it won't keep going, but at the same time, it is sad just to see, Fontana go, because that was such a awesome racetrack, put on such great racing, and to see all the fans show up there also. They had one of the best campgrounds in all of NASCAR when you show up to Fontana. So that's going to be a little bit sad to see, but it sounds like they're trying to rebuild that place into a short track also. So I think there's hope there. And seeing, how Irwindale's going and how Kern County's going, I think there's definitely some light at the end of the tunnel. It's just a matter of putting it all together.
Well, you've got the championship with the Xfinity Series, and by everything we're reading, and we know you're going to return to the Xfinity Series to defend your title. Is that another way of you to say, look, I've proven my wares. I can win a championship. I'm going to go back and do it again, because the end goal, again, is to get back in Cup. How do you intend to do that, Cole Custer?
Well, I think you just have to keep taking the most out of your opportunities. I think next year, I'm really looking forward to it. I think with the speed that we showed in the playoffs this year, I think there's a lot that our team can do next year. Both us and Riley Herbst in the 98 car, I think we're really looking forward to getting to next year and seeing what we can do. And I think just the more you can prove yourself and what you can do, the more that shows to people that you belong at that level.
One last thing. I'm curious about this, because with Tony Stewart's schedule so busy, Gene Haas's schedule so busy, when Tony shows up or Gene shows up, do you button things up a little bit more, Cole, when those guys are looking over your shoulder?
I don't know about button things up. Definitely with Tony, I don't think he's a button up kind of guy, but I think, it's really cool to see when they're at the racetrack. It definitely gets everybody pumped up, and they're just such awesome people. Tony's just, obviously a living legend pretty much. That was everybody's hero. So I think having people like that show up to the racetrack and have your back is pretty cool.
But hold on, though. Were you a little bummed that he claims that he wasn't a part of your championship celebration the night of? Were you a little bummed at that because he is such a busy guy?
We didn't get to end up doing too much just because, the pictures and everything take so long. And then my bag, with the pictures taking so long, that the hauler took off and my bag was in it. So we had to chase after the hauler, and by the time we got back, it was too late. But it was definitely something that we won't forget.
Wait a minute. You chased your hauler down the 10 freeway?
Yeah, we did. It was definitely something that you'll never forget. It was pretty cool.
Chasing your hauler down the freeway is cool.
That's how you celebrate a championship.
Don't forget it, you know.
How did you stop a big 18-wheeler on the freeway? How'd you get the guy's attention?
We called them. We have their number, so we got it.
Hey, it's your winning driver, bro.
You left my clothes.
All right. Well, Cole, thanks for taking time out of your day to join the Freak Nation, man. Good luck to you for 2023, but just savor this big old moment, all right?
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me on.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Lucas Oil, it works.
I run Lucas Oil.
It doesn't matter if you're on the water,
driving to work, or competing in a sold-out stadium. Lucas Oil products will help you get the most out of your vehicle. Monster Jam has run Lucas Oil in and on our trucks for over 10 years.
we wouldn't run anything else.
Lucas Oil, the official oil of Monster Jam.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
Hey, Dad, what are you going to buy at the store today?
Well, I'm out of Lucas Oil fuel treatment, so let's jump in here and grab us some.
Well, do they have the Lucas Oil parts cleaner and degreaser?
I bet they do.
Well, how about the Lucas Oil power steering fluid?
You know, they'll have that too.
Even the octane booster?
I won't be surprised if they do.
My favorite red and tacky grease?
Yes, they will, babe.
Dad, when we're done, can we grab some candy?
Deal, but you gotta share.
Awesome! Lucas works.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
A healthy weight, more energy, and smooth, regular bowel movements. 3 things everyone strives for.
It's me, Chuck Norris. There's one really important thing we don't talk about enough: our health. Achy joints, digestive issues, weight gain, and fatigue. We're told these are normal signs of aging. So working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick.
Morning Kick is a revolutionary formula combining 10 different supplements in one. Probiotics that help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and several of the most powerful anti-aging supplements on earth. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, focused, and help manage stress.
Anybody can achieve great health regardless of their age.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com. Use code FIT or text FIT to 511-511 and claim 40% off today.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee.
Text FIT to 511-511. Morning Kick. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio redefined.
So it was snowing in Chicago, and it was snowing in Chicago, and it was like 88 degrees in Phoenix, Arizona. My point is this. Make sure you got a set of General Tires because you never know what the weather's going to bring you. Go to GeneralTire.com to find the tire for your righteous ride. Go to GeneralTire.com, and as the seasons change, make sure you're rolling on a new set of General Tires. Sorry if you're spending some time watching that Jets-Raiders game, a 4-4 team and a 4-5 team. And Richie, you and I were talking about this, is why didn't they flex this? They had a chance to flex this from what I'm reading, but the NFL didn't flex this damn game. I guess if you're as popular as a crappy team that the Raiders are, and if you're the New York market, you can still get some decent numbers. But Richie, certainly in the game you'd be watching for a residential millennial, wouldn't you?
So we're going back to the Formula One conversation. Formula One kind of hates their fans at this point in their tenure in the United States, right? I think the NFL is pushing that here tonight with this game, right? It's basically just like, you losers are still going to watch this crap anyway, so we're gonna put it on.
Yeah, we'll show you because you're gonna tune in because there's nothing else on a Sunday night.
We are on the Freak Radio Network and, of course, on MAV TV. Thank you guys for being a part of this thing, man. Going on our 20. Did I say we're going on our 23rd or 24th year? What are we doing here?
Now, we have completed 23 years. Yeah. We are in our 24th year.
Oh, my gosh. And of those 24 years, I can't tell you the last time we had a close relationship. When the last time that NHRA championship team owner and a NASCAR Xfinity Series champion team owner on the show, or a friend of the Freaks, Tony Stewart. That's what he did with Cole Custer. And as Crasher said during the break was Cole Custer goes out and win a championship for Tony Stewart, Stewart Haas Racing last Saturday night. Then Sunday afternoon, Matt Hagan goes out and win himself a championship.
2 weeks, 2 championships.
And this is just 2 years into his team, man.
Yeah.
Granted, he has a couple of veterans with Leah and Matt and the decades worth of combinations when it comes to decades worth of time in NHRA when it comes to a crew. But to do what Tony Stewart's doing and winning as a top alcohol drag racer himself.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, Stad, Crash, where have we seen any of that last 23 years?
I'm still thinking.
Yeah, not in the last 23 years. There was a time when Mr. Hendrick was racing sports cars, but that was in another millennium. That was a long time ago.
So
you could arguably say Dale Earnhardt Sr. winning and having, owning his own team as well. You could say...
No, you can't make an argument given what you're saying. The way you're saying it, well, you could say... No, you can't. You can't even debate this. It's special what Tony Stewart, what Smoke... is doing.
Without question.
Right? I mean, granted, you know that he would much rather lay his head down in his bed tonight with a championship-winning wife, with Leah Pruitt. But listen, the guy goes out and wins a championship with Matt Hagan. It's bonkers.
But even, just on to your comment about Leah Pruitt, even Tony Stewart made a comment during the NHRA show today that, hey, I used to race against Doug Coletta when he was a sprint car champion. So I think even like we alluded to at the top of the show, even Tony Stewart, even though his wife didn't win the championship, even Tony Stewart is happy that Doug Coletta is now a champion.
I'll ask Tony from time to time when we have some alone time together about really how he does it he's got his hands in so much stuff. And who's the team that owns Clay Milliken and the Cup Series team?
Ware. Rick Ware Racing.
Ware, yeah.
There's one thing to own a crap ton of stuff, but there's another thing to own a crap ton of stuff and to win and be successful in the majority
in that
of the
crap ton of stuff.
Whether, again, sprint cars for Tony Stewart, what is Tony Stewart's sprint car name? Is it Tony Stewart? TSR, right?
TSR.
Yeah, TSR. For him to win in everything that he's involved, not just races,
but he owns a series too. What's the series that races on Saturday nights?
Well, they sold it. He sold the All-Star Series.
Sold the All-Star
to Kyle Larson and Brad Sweet's new, second year.
Wait a minute, that the special cars that they race against.
Oh, you're thinking SRX.
SRX.
SRX. Okay, that one. Yeah,
that's a Thursday night series. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, but that's successful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's Tony Stewart
live on network TV.
Yeah,
so there's a whole lot of people that would love to have that.
We just get lost sometimes in what we do with SpeedFreaks and don't recognize the significance of individuals. Not Tony Stewart. No, Tony Stewart's our bud and all of that. Yeah, okay. But what he's doing in all of these series is the son of a gun goes out and wins. And he'll tell you every time, and I think he said this, Crasher, when we had him on stage with us in St. Louis with WWT, was it just, I hire the right people.
Oh, without question. Yeah. And even though he does have great people on the NASCAR Cup side of things, even though they didn't produce the results that he would have liked, he still trusts that they're moving in the right direction. And he still trusts that he can be at the drag strip while they're taking care of business in NASCAR. So, yeah, people matter.
And there was, gosh, I'm not sure which race it was, but during I think it was a Fox broadcast earlier this year where Tony Stewart was in the booth for the Fox Cup Series, providing some color commentary for the race, where he talked about, I think Mike Joy asked him a question about being at Talladega the next weekend or something of that nature. And he says, nope, I'm going to be drag racing. And the fact that Tony Stewart spent 3 or 4 minutes on a broadcast that's reaching 3 or 4 million people talking about the NHRA, what that does for the series, it's immeasurable, with still one of the most popular personalities in NASCAR, Crasher.
No, I absolutely agree. And it's cool because at that point also both series were on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
So you did have maybe a few new eyeballs saying, I'm going to go check that out. It's on this network. Clearly I get it. So yeah, that was pretty cool of him. He's done a lot for NHRA behind the scenes, which is also very, very good to see.
You know, Stat, we've talked about this when we've had Jack Roush here in the Freak Nation, who's meant more to motorsports and automotive. Jack Roush, Roger Penske, Rick Hendrick. I wonder if maybe 20 years from now, there'll be somebody following in our footsteps asking that question about Tony Stewart.
Ooh.
Yeah, or asking the question about us.
Hey. No, I doubt that. But just the fact that Tony Stewart has his hands in so much stuff, so many series, and really what he means. You heard Kyle Larson this week during the press conference when they announced that their series, what
High Limit Racing.
High Limit Racing is now basically going to go head to head with the World of Outlaws.
Mm-hmm.
And it's either World of Outlaws or our series. And you heard Kyle Larson numerous times reference Tony Stewart and what he's meant to motorsports and how he somewhat emulates what Tony Stewart has done in purchasing series, purchasing teams, branching off in all forms of motorsports. It's what Kyle Larson wants to do.
And doing it, at least talking about the All-Star Circuit of Champions and now High Limit Racing, doing it at some of the dirt levels in order to continue his career, or like when Tony was with his career as well in Cup, but also just reaching a different demographic, knowing that there's some crossover, sometimes even maybe a ladder system of sorts. So yeah, just crossing over into different formats, just amazing.
And like Kyle Larson, Tony Stewart made a whole crap ton of money through his driving career with Joe Gibbs and then his team with his sponsorship. Some of the numbers that his folks threw at me back in the day, 15 years ago, was stunning. And again, that was when NASCAR was an all-time high for sponsorship, full-time sponsorship for the rides, where it's $20, $30 million. And of course, all the associate sponsorship. And Tony Stewart was one of those that banked his money, and look, he's reaping the benefits right now.
Well, there was a time when Tony was really good friends, and I was somewhat friendly with a guy that was an executive with SunTrust Bank. And when SunTrust, and a lot of the money that he got to do some of the business interests that he has, like buying Eldora Speedway, came from this executive at SunTrust Bank, who's no longer with SunTrust Bank. But yeah, so he didn't use all of his own money to do some of these business ventures that you're talking about.
So it's incredible what Tony Stewart has done over the last 8 days, win himself a couple of championships in NASCAR and, of course, in the NHRA. Freak Nation, coming up the next hour, his name is Colton Haaker. He'll be joining us here in the Freak Nation. Speaking of championships, this dude has 5 Endurocross Series championships. He'll be joining us here in the Freak Nation. And we're still chasing NHRA champions to join us sometime here in the second hour in the Freak Nation. More freaks coming up. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Lucas Oil, it works.
I run Lucas Oil.
It doesn't matter if you're on the water,
driving to work,
or competing in a sold-out stadium.
Lucas Oil products will help you get the most out of your vehicle.
Monster Jam has run Lucas Oil in and on our trucks for over 10 years.
we wouldn't run anything else.
Lucas Oil, the official oil of Monster Jam.
Well, Freak Nation, how about a new set of General Tires as we roll into fall? Now through the end of October, purchase 4 qualifying light truck SUV tires and get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. That's right. Find out how? Go to GeneralTire.com. Make sure you're rolling on a new set of General Tires as the seasons change and get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card with 4 qualifying tires from General Tire. That's right. General Tire, the official tire of the Freaks.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up for one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
Hey, Dad, what are you going to buy at the store today?
I'm out of Lucas Oil fuel treatment, so let's jump in here and grab us some.
Well, do they have the Lucas Oil parts cleaner and degreaser?
I bet they do.
Well, how about the Lucas Oil power steering fluid?
You know, they'll have that too.
Even the octane booster?
I won't be surprised if they do.
My favorite red and tacky grease?
Yes, they will, babe.
Dad, when we're done, can we grab some candy?
Deal, but you gotta share.
Awesome! Lucas works.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Call 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. That's 800-631-9123.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio redefined.
Please hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Coming up in about 15 minutes, his name is Colton Haaker. He is a 5-time Endurocross champion. Yes, champion. He won last night in Oregon. You saw it on MAV TV. He'll be joining us at about 15 past the hour. Also chasing down some NHRA champions who I'm told they are still partying and trying to get to a phone for a video interview sometime in the next 60 minutes. We'll do our best to get either Erica Enders or Doug Coletta here in the Freak Nation. Be sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the website, speedfreaks.tv. We're on 90-plus stations across the country, including SiriusXM and every freaking audio app you could imagine, and, of course, on MAV TV. There was a gentleman who did a lot of legwork for us motorsports fiends when it came to ratings and numbers involving the biggest motorsports series, NASCAR, Formula One, NHRA, Xfinity Series, the NASCAR Truck Series. Am I forgetting another one, Richie? Did I get them all?
It's pretty much every single motorsport there is. There's IMSA included in this.
Right.
There is.
Well, he didn't have motocross or super. He didn't have any two-wheel.
Four-wheel, right.
Yeah.
All
Right.
four-wheel.
Yep, correct.
And again, the domination when it came to ratings was, again, NASCAR, with multiple millions of fans tuning in to a NASCAR race. And in these numbers, some things came to light for me where still a lot of people bitch and moan about road courses. But when it came to ratings, comparable ratings to Martinsville, COTA out-coded Martinsville. There was Indianapolis Martinsville. And those are road courses, taking down a very popular oval, what I'm told. So that was a kind of a kick in the nuts for me. It's surprising that those road courses, Watkins Glen didn't fare too well, but some of the road courses on the schedule, the regular season, were appealing, but more appealing than some of the ovals. Now, Suave, listen. Are you going to try and pull up that graphic on MAV TV?
Yeah, because it's
that
nice.
looks hideous.
It's
man.
Colorful.
I know it's colorful, but people are going to have to pull up a freaking telescope to see what's on that thing.
No,
tiny.
they don't. We can bring it up because they can see the color domination here.
Okay.
That's all they really need to see. Because let's bring it up here, Kenny, if you can.
Okay.
36 of the top 37 events here, and you can see them listed they're in the whitish gray here on this chart.
Okay.
All that is NASCAR Cup Series. The only one in your far left-hand column that makes the list that is non-NASCAR Cup Series was the Indianapolis 500. Everything else in that far left column outside of a couple other races there, Xfinity Series and one Formula One race. That's all NASCAR Cup Series. 36 of the top 37 events in motorsports in North America this year.
Say that again?
NASCAR Cup Series ratings. Yep.
36 of the top 37 motorsports events were NASCAR. Not Formula One, not anything else but NASCAR and the Indy 500.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Now look at that red as well. The red in there. There are one, two, three, at least 3 Xfinity Series races that are more popular than any Formula One race.
Mm-hmm. And IndyCar.
Right?
And NHRA.
Yep.
And, of course, sports cars. Yeah.
We can sit here and say what we will, but holy, there was one. Where was the one race with the NHRA where they kicked some ass?
It was Reading.
Yeah.
1.5 million. And I looked into that a little bit, and people were saying that because that was on Big Daddy Fox, number one. And number two, it was airing directly with NFL games too, depending on your market, where it was the lead in or lead out for NFL that Sunday.
Got it.
Yeah, you would think Reading over Indianapolis. They're arguably their Super Bowl, the big go, the U.S. Nationals. But yeah, the Big Daddy Fox thing does make things a little bit easier.
Richie, you're going to jump in with a question for
Yes.
Stat Crash and yours truly.
Yeah,
right?
so this got me thinking. I saw this on Twitter earlier this week, and it reminded me of this exact thing because And it ties exactly into the rating. So we see NASCAR's domination in motorsports. But can you name the face of NASCAR right now? Does NASCAR have the guy, a face of the sport right now? And if so, who is it?
I would say Kyle Larson. I don't know necessarily that a lot of people would agree with me there, but I would say Kyle Larson is the face of NASCAR right now because of how consistently he wins. He's consistently in the championship hunt, and he has been a guy who has turned his life around. He made a pretty bad mistake not too many years ago and turned his life around, learned from it, and is applying what he has learned. And he's just a great person for people to be able to emulate.
Statman? Microphone there.
And the face of NASCAR is still Dale Jr. And everybody else is, okay, when I get a chance, I'll pay attention to them. But the face of NASCAR is still Dale Jr. I think Kyle Larson could probably go into a shopping mall, and not everybody would recognize him, but Dale Jr. would go into a shopping mall and everything would stop.
Okay. For all those not named Dale Earnhardt Jr., who is the face of NASCAR? It's a legitimate question. I think you could go with 4 or 5 of those names that we're thinking about that could walk into, as Statman referred to, something that probably isn't too prevalent nowadays, a shopping mall. I think that there are 4 or 5 drivers that could walk in there that are top contenders that people would have no idea who the hell they are. But if they walked in there in fire suits, they'd say, "You guys are drivers, right?" But they would,
Oh my God. It used to drive me crazy that so many companies would use drivers in fire suits in their advertising campaigns. I'm like, can we just see them outside of the damn fire suit? Can we just see them for real?
Oh, so Statman, pick one. Just pick. I mean, maybe it's only 20%, but it's 1% more than 19%. Who is the face for NASCAR right now?
I can't think of anybody. If you pressed me, maybe Kyle Larson, but Elliott, Chase Elliott, is voted the number 1 driver. He's probably in front of Kyle Larson, even though Kyle Larson was in the news. But still, Chase Elliott is popular and had large crowds and so forth. Not one of my favorite guys, but I mean, Chase Elliott. If you forced me to pick a name, I'd say Chase Elliott.
If you want to go by just numbers on our accounts, the top dog on our account has always been Kyle Larson. I could put 60 seconds of Kyle Larson looking out a window, playing Barry Manilow underneath him, and 50,000 people will just come by for 60 seconds to watch Kyle Larson on our YouTube page. I got to go with Kyle Larson. We were talking about this too. Christopher Bell. Again, any of the top Cup guys, we'll put them on our YouTube page. They get crazy hits. But how many people would you poll right now, and force them to tell you who your 2023 Cup Series champion is? Would they get it right?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No. I mean, no. Half the people in NASCAR they know the name, but they wouldn't recognize him in a crowd.
Richie, what about you?
I'd say nobody. That's the problem. That's why they're not growing right now, is they don't have a face. Right? If I say NFL, who's the guy? Patrick Mahomes, right?
Kelsey.
State Farm.
And Travis Kelsey. It's Mahomes and Kelsey, right? You go. If I say NBA, who is it?
Still LeBron.
It's LeBron James. You go to every other sport, they have the guy. NASCAR doesn't have that right now, and that's a problem. And that's why their ratings were down this year, despite leading the pack, as we just saw at the beginning of the segment. That's why it's stagnant. They don't have a guy to go to right now, and that's a problem. The closest is probably Kyle Larson, but when you don't have a guy, when you don't have the Dale Jr. of the sport, when your Kevin Harvick is now gone, Jimmy Johnson now gone, Jeff Gordon gone, Tony Stewart gone, there's a big gap to fill, and they ain't doing it correctly right now.
And one thing with Richie, you were there at the press conference for the Steve's Crasher. You were too. they're not afraid to address it. They know that it's an issue. Jeff Gordon addressed it. I think Brad Keselowski addressed it, and there's so many tributaries that your discussion can go off into for reasons why they're not. One might be the fact that for years there, the Home Depot car was Tony Stewart. For years, the Rainbow car was Jeff Gordon.
DuPont.
Yeah. I mean, the Kellogg car was Terry Labonte. But now you don't have those attachments with your favorite drivers.
Okay, it's chicken and egg scenario, because if the ratings aren't there, then a sponsor's not going to come in at $20 million for the season like they used to.
They don't.
They just, and the ratings aren't there to be able to justify that to your boards.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think Crash, I think it's bigger than that. When you mentioned Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon,
45 seconds. Go ahead.
Kevin Harvick, these guys had personalities, and they had larger personalities that cut through the TV cameras, and people used them to sell stuff. Mm-hmm. Guys they have nowadays don't.
In their fire suits.
And that was asked numerous times of the Steve Phelps and Steve O'Donnell from the NASCAR press corps about lack of personalities, lack of confrontation, lack of the black hat versus the white hat. So it certainly is going to be addressed eventually. Colton Haaker, 5-time Endurocross champion. Next, Speed Freaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studio.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
One of the main reasons for poor vehicle performance is a dirty fuel system. It can cause decreased fuel economy and actually do harm to your engine over time. By adding Lucas Fuel Treatment to your vehicle, it cleans and lubricates the entire fuel system. Pump, carburetors, fuel injectors, and valves as you drive. It also improves your vehicle's performance. It's a non-solvent product designed to protect both gasoline and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. It works.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers. The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, his name is Colton Haaker. If you're watching us on MAV TV, you see him rolling through his freaking garage right now.
Yeah.
I guess that's what, again, Colton, you're on MAV TV and, of course, the Freak Radio Network. Can you find a seat so we can talk to you for a second, man?
Honestly, the garage is going to be the best spot right now. Kids are still trying to go to bed inside the house, so this is the quietest place. I'm in my shop, so we're good here.
Attaboy.
You can check it out a little bit. I got some cool memorabilia and some posters on the walls and dirt bikes everywhere. World Championship bikes over there. So
look at that, man.
Get him full screen. That's amazing.
Freak Nation, his name, again, is Colton Haaker. He's a 5-time Endurocross champion. You saw his win last night in Oregon, and he's joined us now here in the Freak Nation. And you do the research on you, Colton, and there's comparisons to you to other greats in the two-wheel categories, whether it's Jeremy McGrath or Ricky Carmichael. But we'll leave that aside. You're a badass when it comes to Endurocross, frankly, a series that a lot of people aren't too familiar with. But when you look at what Endurocross combines with, your overall athleticism has got to be pretty freaking bonkers compared to some of the other series that are out there.
yeah, Endurocross is crazy. We end up with riding over rocks, logs, tires, sand, water, trees, everything they can find kind of outdoors, and they're bringing it indoors into a stadium for us to kind of do a gate drop and race on tight quarters with 16 guys with not enough room. So it's a little chaotic and unpredictable.
Colton Haaker joining us here in the Freak Nation, 5-time Endurocross champion. Got a big win last night in Oregon. You saw it on MAV TV. And I believe you started out in motocross and supercross. Why give that up and get into Endurocross?
Well, I don't know how much you guys follow motocross and supercross, but if you're not kind of the guy when you're about 12 years old,
Yep.
you might not get anywhere, right? So, I didn't have any spotlight on me at 12 years old by any means. If anything, parents, I think, took away my dirt bikes by the time I was 14 because I hit my head too many times. So they said, you know what, just go to high school, be a regular kid. And I picked up a trials bike after some good grades. My dad bought me a trials bike after some good grades, I should say. And I started riding trials after I rode motocross and off-road. And then Endurocross came out in 2004, and I was 16 years old, and I watched the first one, and then 2 years later, I was out there racing.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So something tells me also that you like the unpredictability of Endurocross. You thrive on that different kind of competition because, let's face it, clearly you're very good.
Yeah. You know what's cool about Endurocross? Besides the fact that it's unpredictable, which means at any point someone can make a major mistake and throw a race away. The race leader is never a certain, right? I think in a lot of other racing, we find that the guy gets out front, and then that's the end of that a lot of times in two-wheel racing. Mm-hmm. That's not the case in Endurocross. Another really thing that's cool about Endurocross is we're like a big family. We have a novice class, we have a junior class, we have a vet class. We got 55-year-old guys out there racing in front of 6,000 people watching, and sometimes the vet racing is honestly the best racing of the night. You got guys. They're relatable,
Mm-hmm.
they take their helmet off, they have beer belly, or they got obviously they look like, they're 55 years old sometimes. Right. So the guys in the stands are talking to their buddy and they're like, why aren't you out there? You ride bikes, you're 55, you get out there. And, maybe next year they give it a shot. Right. Cause their buddy bets them a case of beer or something.
Oh my gosh. See, Kenny, there's a shot. There's a shot for you. You can get back on your two wheels.
I could do it.
No, okay. You talk about how anything can happen at any moment. Yes, that is very true in Endurocross. And it happened to you last night. How many points did you lose in the second moto that might affect you being able to leap up and take this championship?
Yeah, so we raced 3 motos a night. Each moto is Olympic scoring. So if you get first place, you get 1 point, right? And the lowest point tally at the end, wins the night. So I won the first moto. Second moto, I'm leading to the second to last turn, and a lapper turns into me on the rock pile, and I lose the front end. I crash down the side, crash into some tires, go over the bars. A little bit overly spectacular for what it was. and I ended up third. So now I'm going to the final race with 4 points, and my other competitor is had 3 points, and another competitor has 5 points. So at the end, we're whoever wins the last race is going to come out the winner of the night. And then on the night, they pay a total of 30 points for the win, 25 points for second, and, obviously down from there. So the difference between winning and getting maximum points and losing can be just as simple as a lapper pulling over in front of you in one of the three motos that night.
Wow. Colton Haaker. We're learning something here. I think I do remember seeing some Endurocross and something. Maybe it's at X Games or something like that. In the last segment, we were talking about drivers and personalities and so forth. And it sounds like you kind of made that decision in changing from Supercross and Motocross into Endurocross. What do you think is the biggest draw for fans? Is it the competition, the show, or the personalities of the people who are competing?
I think Endurocross is a great mixture of all those things. The riders. I'm 34 years old now. I'm a veteran. I have two kids, 5 and 3 year old daughters, and I've been doing this for 12 years or something now. Something maybe even more than that. 15 years. So I've gone from the youngest racer out there to one of the oldest in the pro class over the last 15 years. And in my career, I've done 360s on dirt bikes and backflips, and been a social media presence and a personality on YouTube, and I've drawn a lot of people into the sport that way, with showing a lot of different skills than just being able to ride over rocks and logs. I'm also capable of doing all those other things, and all the other riders also have a lot of personality and come from a lot of different backgrounds and places. The show itself, for the money that you're paying on the night, I believe the show does gives you back on your money. It gives you a good return, as well as the racing speaks for itself. And like I said, there's something for everybody there. There's a junior class. There's kids out there that are 14 years old riding around and trying to race. And there's 50-year-olds out there in one of the classes, right? There's kind of something for everybody. And then what's also cool about Endurocross is we're all very approachable and available to the fans. The pits are wide open to anyone with a ticket holder. They don't have to buy an extra pit pass. They can come right down and talk to me while I'm eating dinner, basically, because I'm eating into the pits, and it's like that kind of for everybody. And so I think you just get an atmosphere that's just pleasant and easygoing for fans that come and meet people like myself that they might find idolize, and then talk to other guys about God, what do they do during the week to just get there on the weekend and pay for themselves all their broken parts after the race, right? So.
Colton Haaker.
He's referring to the bikes, by the way, not the body parts.
Yeah, a little bit of it.
5-time Endurocross champion. This segment is 10 minutes long. We could go 20 minutes. Colton, I don't think this is going to be the last time you're going to be joining us here in the Freak Nation. Quickly here, you've got 4. You've got Johnny Walker, you've got Tristan, you've got you and Cody Webb. You can throw a blanket over you 4 to win the championship. It's badass, and it's coming down to Reno to win this damn thing. You got about 30 seconds, 45 seconds I'll give you to respond.
Yeah, I found myself in a position right now as an underdog. I'm 12 points down on the lead. There's a 12-point swing between first and fourth. So if Johnny, the current leader, finishes fourth, and Tristan Hart finishes third, and Cody Webb finishes second, and I finish first, if all the chips fall my way, I'm the champion. I can't control all those variables. All I can do is control myself trying to win, and that puts myself in the best position possible. We all know that about racing. That's what I have to do. Just go out there and try to execute my race, win the race, and let the chips fall where they fall. And however they do fall, honestly, congratulations to that competitor, whoever takes it. They deserve it and they earned it.
It's badass.
It's been a fun season.
Colton Haaker here in the Freak Nation. Again, 5-time Endurocross champion. Dude, thanks for doing this, man. If you wrap up the championship, we'll be back in here, okay?
Awesome. Let's do it. Thanks, guys.
All right, you got it. Colton Haaker joining us here in the Freak Nation. More Freaks coming up, the Freak Radio Network and on MAV TV.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers. For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up for one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Call 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. That's 800-631-9123.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
I like this about my phone. I wear an Aura watch, and it's hooked up to my phone, of course, with the app. So I've got the iWatch, and I get 2 messages right around this time saying bedtime is approaching. You may want to settle your ass down.
Well,
yeah, now that we're on mountain time, I get these notices during a show that I should settle down, man, and get ready for bedtime. Oh, man. This segment brought to you by our good friends at General Tire. Go to generaltire.com. Check out the line of tires. I don't care what you got, man. You got an F-250. You got yourself one of those snappy Tesla extraordinaires. What do you have, man? General Tire has the tire for your ride. Go to generaltire.com. Make sure you're rolling on a new set of General Tires. We do.
General Tires has a Formula One snow tire for next weekend.
Great point. Right? Yeah, those tire warmers are going to come in handy for Formula One, right?
The drivers are going to be grabbing them on the way out of the garage and putting them on themselves.
That's worth a rim shot. All right, Crash, you ready for some pit news and notes?
Let's do it.
All right, Crash Gladys pit news and notes brought to you by our good friends at Lucas Oil.
I got dang one too.
Yes, Richie, settle down.
Wow.
Crash Gladys pit news and notes brought to you by our good friends at Lucas Oil. Go to lucasoil.com for all the products to keep your rides fat and happy, Crasher.
Well, this weekend, as we've been talking about through most of the show, this weekend belonged to the NHRA as it was their turn at the finale, and several champions were set to be crowned. Pro Stock Motorcycles' Gage Herrera was crowned the title. Pro Stock Motorcycles, excuse me, guys. I am just all over the map right now. He did that on Saturday. My notes are all a mess right now. He did that on Saturday. All he really had to do was qualify in order to take the title. He also went on to win in the NHRA finals as well. In Pro Stock Cars, Erica Enders had a comfy lead coming into the finals, but as we know, anything can happen at any time. So fortunately for her, it didn't. At least nothing bad happened. She drove to her 6th championship after winning round 1 today. She went on into the semifinals, but her title celebration started a little bit early then because, well, her track day was done. Erin Stanfield went on to win the event, but listen to this. Erica Enders is one of only 9 people to have achieved the 6 championships or more mark in the NHRA. That's huge. But even more notably, just this year, she became the winningest female in all of motorsports in all time. Wow. That was just a month ago. I believe it was with her win in Dallas in October.
So those aren't championships. Those are race wins.
Those are race wins. She has 47 total now, I believe. The funny car title was decided in the second round as it seemed nobody up for the championship was having a good day. Right. And round 2 it was. One by one, they were losing. First, it was Bob Tasca. He lost in round 2 to Cruz Pedregon. Then the very next pairing down the track, Matt Hagan lost to Blake Alexander. Apparently, the entire place was just silent. All Robert Hight then had to do at that point was win against Chad Green. But at half track, Robert Hight lost traction. And he went down in the same round, basically gifting the title to Matt Hagan, now his 4th championship in his career. Somewhat fittingly, because it was Chad Green taking down Robert Hight, Chad Green went on to win the event. Not to be outdone, though, Top Fuel took their title battle down to the final race of the day. It was Leah Pruitt versus Doug Kalita in a winner-take-all final round. Neither driver has won the championship, and we've seen Doug Kalita in this exact same winner-take-all final race at the season finale several times. Hello, Tony Schumacher. He's been here, and he's lost until tonight. Dougie cruised to his first Top Fuel title with a blistering run of 367. That's seconds, people, to Leah's 372 to win the race in his first title in 27 years in the NHRA. You just heard from another winner on the weekend with the penultimate round of the Endurocross season this weekend in Redmond, Oregon. Last night's winner, Colton Haaker. He won 2 of the 3 motos to take the overall. Colton is now just 12 points out of the title heading into Reno, Nevada. You just heard from him. If you missed the interview, you can check it out on speedfreaks.tv and on our YouTube channel sometime this week. There's other news on the weekend. Kenny, do you want to get into it, or do we want to save it for next segment on friend of the Freaks, Kyle LeDuc?
Let's save it for the next segment.
All right.
Let's do that. Crash Gladys Pit News and Notes brought to you by our good friends at Lucas Oil. Go to lucasoil.com. That's lucasoil.com to find the right products to keep your engine happy on the road. Go to lucasoil.com. Coming up, your Statman Scat regarding Formula One. They need a new weather person with Formula One. But I want to get into something quickly before we go to break. We've got about 4 minutes here. Yeah, about 4 minutes. Erica Enders is incredible. And if you just take her numbers for what they're worth, for what they are, it's bonkers. And I think we've been saying this, at least me personally, and unfortunately I do say it, and I wish I could stop saying it, that she's a woman in a male-dominated occupation. And she's crushing it. She has numbers that are better than hundreds of men that came before her in that class. But we always have to bring up her damn gender, that she's a woman doing this. So that's what makes it so attractive to me, is that she's doing it, whether, I don't know, using this the wrong way, in spite of she's a woman in a male-dominated business. We don't know what it's like to walk into the pro stock pits, get in your car, go out there and win a race, much less be a woman doing this. So I am almost speechless and really giving my full appreciation for what she's done, what she continues to do.
Well, it's also interesting. Last year, 2022, she had a career record-breaking year. I think the most wins, just a complete domination to the championship. So going into this year, it's almost like, how was she going to best that? How can anything be better than what 2022 was? And then she started off pretty crappy, if we're going to be completely honest. She was going out in round one. I think Gainesville, the season opener, she was out in round one. Phoenix, she was out in round one. It's just very atypical for not just her, but also for her team, Elite Motorsports. They finally figured out some issues a little bit before halfway through the season, and then they just went on a tear. And then she finally found her mojo again. And then come down to the playoffs, she wasn't winning races, but she was more consistent, getting at least to the semifinals and finals, that she just really hammered down points. And then she won 2, and then the rest was history. It's just crazy, the commitment that team has towards each other, and how they were able to turn around a really bad start to the season and then get her championship number 6.
That seems to be something that's very important in drag racing. They have a lot of family teams, and she's got family that's behind her, especially her sister. She and her sister are like inseparable, and one really supports the other. And especially her sister, I think her sister does a lot of her social media and really knows her and supports her in a sport where she, like you said, Kenny, she got a lot of, had some bad experiences in the past, and now she's got someone that supports her, and she could concentrate more on what she's doing. Yes. And that seems to be more in drag racing, now that I think about it, than in any other motorsport that we cover, the major leagues of motor racing.
Again, Erica Enders, 6 times a champion in the most competitive division of NHRA, whether it's funny car, top fuel, bikes, pro mod, pro stock. Again, you can throw a blanket. Speaking of throwing blankets, you can throw blankets on all 16 of those cars when it comes to qualifying. And for Erica Enders to win it again, it's just, and as you mentioned, Crash, I know I got about 30 seconds here. As you mentioned, didn't have the best start of her year. Oh, no. Goes out there and wins it before the final round. It's It's fun to watch.
I didn't
Anything you could take from Greg Anderson. Both of them had 5 championships. He got a 6th. He's one of the best in the sport, and now it's her.
Now it's her.
Yep.
He has more wins than her, but she has more titles to show.
How about that? Let that resonate for a little bit, Freak Nation. Your stat man scat coming up. Formula One needs a new weather person, and we lost a young man with a very famous last name and family in off-road racing. It's coming up next. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studio.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Lucas Oil, it works.
I run Lucas Oil.
It doesn't matter if you're on the water,
Driving to work,
or competing in a sold-out stadium.
Lucas Oil products will help you get the most out of your vehicle.
Monster Jam has run Lucas Oil in and on our trucks for over 10 years.
we wouldn't run anything else.
Lucas Oil, the official oil of Monster Jam.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
Hey, Dad, what are you going to buy at the store today?
I'm out of Lucas Oil fuel treatment, so let's jump in here and grab us some.
Well, do they have the Lucas Oil parts cleaner and degreaser?
I bet they do.
Well, how about the Lucas Oil power steering fluid?
You know, they'll have that too.
Even the octane booster?
I won't be surprised if they do.
My favorite red and tacky grease?
Yes, they will, babe.
Dad, when we're done, can we grab some candy?
Deal, but you gotta share.
Awesome! Lucas works.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
A healthy weight, more energy, and smooth, regular bowel movements. 3 things everyone strives for.
It's me, Chuck Norris. There's one really important thing we don't talk about enough: our health. Achy joints, digestive issues, weight gain, and fatigue. We're told these are normal signs of aging. So working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick.
Morning Kick is a revolutionary formula combining 10 different supplements in one. Probiotics that help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and several of the most powerful anti-aging supplements on earth. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, focused, and help manage stress.
Anybody can achieve great health regardless of their age.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com. Use code FIT or text FIT to 511-511 and claim 40% off today.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee.
Text FIT to 511-511. Morning Kick. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio redefined.
Some of you objected a couple of weeks ago when I called Formula One a clown show. Now the web is filling with stories that F1 leadership had no idea that it gets cold when the Las Vegas sun goes down in November. One website said that leadership was concerned that drivers were going to be affected by the heat like they were in Qatar about a month ago. That won't be a problem next week in Las Vegas. For example, last night, I checked the temperature at about the same time that the race was supposed to start next Saturday, and it was 41 degrees. I've been at rallies in the southwestern desert when temperatures would fall 40 degrees after sundown, and people from the East Coast were turning blue. The record November low in Las Vegas is 21 degrees, but that was back in 1958, before climate change. And there are reports no one checked on this when they considered the race a couple of years ago. A tweet this week reported 10,000 empty seats that weren't sold for next weekend. I guess you want to spend $1,000 to sit on a cold metal bench in freezing temperatures. But don't worry, it's a dry cold, a clown show. Peace.
Your Statman Scat brought to you by our friends at General Tire. Go to GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com to find the tire for that ride, man. I talk about it every show. Climate's changing. Well, climate's changing for sure.
Yeah.
The seasons are changing. Make sure you're rolling on a new set of General Tire. We lost Kyle LeDuc over the weekend, been battling cancer for some time now. And the name LeDuc, when it comes to off-road racing, it's just synonymous. And Kyle LeDuc's father, Kurt LeDuc, has been running off-road, started off-road over almost 40 years ago. And Kyle LeDuc, he himself, who has a hell of a career crasher in short course off-road racing, and frankly, won himself a race in the electric series, the E series, with Chip Ganassi.
Oh, Extreme E.
Extreme E.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, he did. He's got 7 Pro 4 championships. 7. And he was just barely denied his 8th last year. He came in second to CJ Greaves in the championship off-road racing series. So, yes, 7 Pro 4 titles. 6 of them were in the Lucas Oil series, and then 1 in the championship off-road series. He has a pair of Pro Light titles. He won 3 Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series Challenge Cups, 2 Pro 4 World Championships, and 2, I believe, Lucas Oil Series Driver of the Year titles. Basically, we were just talking about how many wins, Erica Enders and Greg Anderson have in pro stock in the NHRA. Kyle LeDuc, more than 100 wins in off-road racing. Just stunningly good.
And we even talked at one time about him being interested in rallying, and if that series had its act together, that he would have loved to have gone a race there. He just loves competition on dirt, and he's looking for anywhere. He ran for Chip Ganassi in the Extreme E series, and they raced all over the world. So, and he won events there. So, yes, he is a serious dude, and he'll be missed. He fought cancer for about a year. Like last November, he announced it, and now he's gone.
It's just shocking how fast he announced it. I think it was in June when he came out to the public about his head and neck cancer, and then it was stage 4. But I remember seeing him on The Skinny here on MAV TV. That it's the show that's right before us on Sunday nights, and his spirits seemed so good. That was just a couple of months ago, and I got hope that he was really on the road to recovery after seeing him join Ken Stout on The Skinny. So, yeah, I was really, it was hard to hear the news about Kyle losing his battle with cancer just yesterday.
His brother, Todd LeDuc, is in Monster Jam. In fact, what's he driving now in Monster Jam?
Is it still Megalodon?
I think it is still Megalodon. These guys have had their hands in racing for so long. Todd LeDuc, Kyle LeDuc, Kurt LeDuc, and with the three of us being close to Lucas and Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series, again, seeing a LeDuc somewhere on the podium was just a regular occurrence with these guys. And his success in the Pro 4 class, Crasher, I'm not sure. I'm sorry I didn't hear your stats on that.
7 Pro 4 championships, 2 world titles. Oh, that's don't mind the couple of Pro Light titles as well.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Everyone in off-road, short course, desert racing knows Todd, Kyle, and Kurt, the whole LeDuc family. And when he passed, you could just punch his name in Google and you'll see how many people are covering his death. 42 years old, man. Lost his battle to cancer over the weekend. Race in peace, my friend. Race in peace. Freak Nation, we got about 4 minutes before we get the hell out of here. We're going to do this again next week against my better judgment.
Sorry, not sorry. Formula One's in Las Vegas. We had to do a live show. We couldn't take off for Thanksgiving that early.
Man, I had what color shoes I was going to wear on the boat. I was going to be down the river with my feet up and a cigar and about 3 or 4 Sunday was going to be a hangover day and I wasn't going to have to pay attention to the show stat man, but dang it. I can't get away from Formula One screwing up my Speed Freaks broadcast stat man.
They've got it out for you, Kenny. That's what they, that's why Bernie Ecclestone left the sport, because he couldn't take it out on you.
I put a poll out on the X/Twitter asking if people are going to stay up until 1 a.m. Eastern time to watch the race. 71% say no.
Yeah.
Wow. 3 out of 4 almost. Wow.
Whoa.
Sometimes we humans are smarter than we actually act, right? Sometimes. I will be surprised, Richie. I don't know if we'll have the results by next Sunday night, what the ratings were for this race. That, again, starts up 10 o'clock local time, means Pacific.
On Saturday night. Not most F1 races are Sunday.
Right.
This is on Saturday night. Yeah.
Which means Statman on Eastern time, he's going to, well, hell, it'll be just like you'll be up 2 nights in a row, Speed Freaks oriented early morning, right?
Maybe. That's what they make DVRs for. Just for that. I have a special Formula One edition of my DVR.
Attaboy.
How often do you tap into it and actually watch?
I watch it as it speeds through.
Oh, so you're one of those where it says, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times faster than.
Yeah, right. I watched the beginning of the race,
right,
and then I watched the middle of the race go by pretty quick, and then the end of the race.
Well, you're going to be a braver man than me, Stat Man. Like I said, I'm going to be a part of a 9-year-old club soccer tournament going on Saturday afternoon, and then got to get back up Sunday morning. And
7 a.m.
There'll be more drama in those soccer games than there will be in the F1 race.
Or will there, because of temperatures? Are we going to have cars sliding off the track? I mean, this actually might be an action-packed race. It's just the timing sucks. The timing's and what I mean by that is crashes, complete
as they speed by all the empty seats.
Yep.
Well, Richie, I'm going to be curious to watch that poll. How long did you set the?
Like 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see how it changes, if it changes.
If you have New Year's parties where you'll have people come over like at 10 p.m. and then celebrate at midnight, and they all leave at 12:15. How do you have a Formula One party? You have people over at, all right, let's say you're on Eastern time. Do you have people over at midnight and you start partying at midnight and you watch the race at 1? Is that what you do?
It's a true Sunday morning race.
Gosh.
Hey, if people can wake up at like 4:30 in the morning for Premier League games, they can stay awake and party hard overnight. That's for sure.
Well, at least, Richie, I know that freaking Chelsea, not Chelsea Denofa, But Chelsea has a shot against Man U, even if they're when they're playing at 4:30 in the morning.
Great match today.
I know. Did they actually play?
Yeah, they did. Chelsea and Man City played today. It was
Holy
a 4-4.
Oh, you said Man U.
I said Man U.
Yeah, Man City. It was a 4-4 draw. Chelsea and Man City.
Gosh. Well, again, Chelsea's no fuss. Sorry, man. I know you're on hold for about 2 hours. You couldn't make it on the show today. Freak Nation, we'll do it again next week. Statman, shoot the juice to the moose and do what?
Cut it loose.
Yeah.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers. For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
We're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.